Hi everyone, I'm Lisa and welcome to my home. I hope you'll find something fun to watch as I talk about things that bring me joy. I love to talk about cross stitch and quilting, thrift storing, pets, life in general, and it can't be too long because I think I can only go to about 40 minutes. So let's get going. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's been like 4 weeks since I've done an update, which is crazy. My husband and I were sick with the flu for probably, I don't know, between the two of us, it was like a 2.5 week period, it seemed like. So he caught it after I was starting to get better. So anyway, that was an ordeal. I thought I knew what exhausted was until I went through that experience. And then I was just like, just picking your arms up was exhausting. So I actually took time off of work. And, but anyway, thankfully we are both better and back to normal. So that's always a plus. And then last weekend I was able to go on a crafting weekend. Most of the people were doing scrapbooking, but I haven't gotten into that too much. I just like to make cards and things like that. So it was a wonderful time. We went to Amish country and stayed at the Amish store. Lots of fun, lots of wonderful food. I swear I ate like almost every hour, it felt like. And it was funny the other night, I think it was Monday night, because we always had like a 10 o'clock snack, and I generally don't eat too much after dinner, because by the time we get home from time I get home from work, it's like 8:30, and by the time we eat, so it's usually like 9 o'clock. So I mean, I'm almost going to bed. So I don't generally eat again. And so, but it was funny the other night, it was 10 o'clock and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, where's my 10 o'clock snack? Because I mean, they were incredible snacks that were there. So, but anyway, I can tell it just by my cheeks. I need to simmer down. But anyway, I had a wonderful time. And so I feel like all the creative juices are flowing. I was able to, when I came back on Sunday, so then on Monday I started cleaning my house because it was a complete disaster. And I was ready to put out some spring things. I had found some cute little tulips at a place, and then I found that cute little picture. So I was excited to decorate for spring. So I got that mostly all done yesterday. I mean on Monday I was able to get everything pretty well cleaned, and I still had a couple Christmas trees that were sitting up here. I hate to admit it. Sorry, these are the most uncomfortable chairs. Anyhow, I couldn't believe it. I still had a Christmas tree in my dining room that didn't have any decorations on it, but it's just so big and cumbersome, and I have bad knees, so I was just putting off taking it downstairs to the basement, kind of hoping my husband would see it and think, oh, I'll take that downstairs for you. Well, that never happened. So I thought, I need to get this thing down before next Christmas hits. So anyway, I was able to get a lot of stuff done yesterday. And then, I keep saying yesterday, on Monday. And so then yesterday when I went to work, it just felt so much better. Because a lot of times when I go to work and I'm thinking about things that I would rather be doing, then it's not a fun experience at work. But if I was able to get a lot of that stuff done because I was able to get my butt off the couch and quit stitching, it's such a more enjoyable day at work. So, and I think everybody was happy about it. Anyway, so I have some finishes. I did this video once before, but I had forgot to say a couple of things, and I still don't know how to edit, so I'm going to try it again and see if it's better. So we'll start off with a previous finish. I meant to grab the chart and I forgot. I know it's a Brenda Gervais pattern, and I want to say maybe it's spring delivery. I did this a couple of years ago. So this was like right when I was just starting to try different fabrics. I was always, an Ada girl, so I never really knew much about the new fabrics that they had and different counts. And I mean, I knew 14 and 18 and whatever, but whole new world I was getting into. So when I started this, I started with the cart, and I was doing, I think it's like a 36 count, and I was doing 2 strands in the little cart thing. Well, it was just too bulky and it just didn't look pretty. And I was getting discouraged with the whole thing. But then I ran across somebody on Flosstube that talked about, you know, they just stitch over 2 with 1 thread. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it. I finished up the cart so it wouldn't look too stupid. But then the rest of the chart is all done with just 1 thread. So I just love it. I just think it's such a beautiful design. One of my favorites. So I was happy to bring that out. And the funny thing is I don't even know where I'm going to put it. I have all the stitching and my walls are already full. And I really like the artists that I have throughout the house. It's Billy Jacobs. And so it's hard to find a spot to put some of these things, but I better get busy on it, because the next thing I want to show you is a finish. I finished up Sampler Hill by Brenda Gervais, and I was able to lace it and frame it, and I am just really excited with how it turned out. I decided to try lacing, and it really wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not all the way in the frame yet because I haven't decided glass or no glass. The frame was actually $1 at the thrift store, and it's got, let's see if I can try to show you a little bit. It's kind of has a little bit of a brownish part and then like a darker part with some engraving on it. Anyway, I just absolutely love it. And it came with glass, but I cannot decide whether I want to put the glass in there or not. So it's not completely finished. What's your opinion? I'm really leaning towards not the glass, just because I don't really care for the way glass looks. Anyway, so, but that's almost done. And I was able to participate a little bit more in Lost and Floss. Started a finish it February, I think a couple years ago. And so I tried to do a little bit last year, but then this year I tried to make more of a, I tried a little bit harder to get some things done. So I went down in the craft room and I finished my little Sub Rosa free pattern that I got off of Pinterest. So I just put a red check on the back, and I just used the bottom closure method just because I don't know, for some reason I just don't love the little wool thing on the back. I don't know, somehow I just feel like it looks kind of bulky. Anyway, stuffed it with walnut shells, and I'm overall happy with how it turned out. I still would like to get to a point where I can get it as densely packed as, like, maybe when you see stuff like from Mama Joan. I mean, Honest to Pete. I mean, hers I don't think has any air in the little thing. I mean, it's just jammed. And I was trying to, like, just pack the heck out of it, but it just didn't seem like it was getting any more compact than what I was doing. So, but anyway, I'm really happy that it's finished and ready to display this Christmas. I also showed a little freebie that I found on Pinterest, that I had found a little wire basket that my plan is to put on my stitchy area, my stitchy cabinet. And I thought it would be cute with like some little alphabet pillows, anyway, anything in red basically. So I decided to finish that up. This was one of the first things I worked on, and I don't know if it was early in the morning and I wasn't, you know, fully caffeinated or what, but I mean, I had stitched it with plenty of margin, but when I went to cut it into a little square to make it, I mean, I almost didn't give myself enough seam allowance. And I don't know if my quilter 1/4 inch things snuck in somewhere, but I'm just like, OMG, I'm not going to be able to get this stuffed. But anyway, so it turned out kind of cute. I wish it had been a little bit bigger, with a little bit more margin, but it'll be cute. It'll fit in there just nice. It's done. So then I worked on my strawberry. It's the Quaker Berry by Erica Michaels. And I decided, I had it stitched for the longest time, and I thought, oh my goodness, I just need to just bite the bullet. I mean, I can make quilts. I can make a strawberry. So I looked up Vanna's tutorial, the Twisted Stitcher, and sorry, Molly's getting into attack mode over here. It's okay, Moll. So looked up her tutorial, worked on it, and each step just kept pausing it until I would get caught up with what she was working on. Anyway, I'm very happy with my results. The little peak could be a little bit more densely packed, but overall I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I took a piece of wool that I had in my stash and just made a yo-yo. And then I have a little button in here. And I feel like if I was to take some hot glue and put a little bit in there, I was having a really hard time getting my string taut enough. Just a minute, the trash guy's coming, just a minute. Oh my goodness, the trash man was here. My dog had to protect the universe. Oh, she loves to bark. Anyway, as I was saying, I was trying to get this little button in there, and I just couldn't get enough. I just couldn't get it tight enough. So I think I'm just going to just put a little bit of hot glue in there and just hold it down until it sets. But very excited with how it turned out. Now I need to do some more. Okay, so sorry, I did a video before and now I'm really thirsty. So we're going to have a little break with Dr. Pepper. Okay, so I was able to work on a few things. Now, granted, when I was sick, I mean, literally for like over a week, I did not stitch or craft or do anything except just sleep on the couch. So I don't have a whole lot of progress, but I did try to pick up a lot of different whips and work on them just a little bit. So this is a Stacy Nash Rabbit Hollow Farm. I was looking over my video from last time, which was a hot mess. And I remember when I was talking about this, I talked about the grass at the bottom and the sheep. It's Rabbit Hollow Farm. Duh. So they're bunnies. But I was able to get a little bit of the grass done and a couple of the bunnies. I kind of changed the color schemes on mine. It was more of like a deep, like magenta and like, oh, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but like a rusty color. And I just wasn't feeling that. So I did a red and a pink. So the bunny is supposed to have like a rusty color in it, which I used as my red, so, and pink. I don't think that's going to look right. So I think I'll just do cream. But anyway, so I just basically have grass and another side of the border, but I had fun working on that. I love when I have like a fill-in part. I really enjoy that. I know some people say it's boring, but I absolutely love it. Okay, then this last night I pulled out A Gentleman's Daughter by Plum Street, and I worked a little bit on the filling in the windows. And of course I had to start on the window that I have a mistake in. So it's supposed to be like 7 stitches across, and I only did 6. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with the panes in that one. But, so I just stopped the stitching on that one and moved on to the next windows. I'm like, I don't have time to think about that right now. And because I knew I wasn't going to rip all of that out. No, I'm not a ripper. I'm not a ripper outer. I'm a keep on a going type of thing. So anyway, I was able to get most of the sashing done in the windows. And then I'll start counting more, working down on the house. But it was getting late, so that was the end of that one. I went to bed. So I saw Christy from Crosshatch Quilts was working on her summer at Hollyberry Farm. So I decided to get mine out and put a little bit of stitches in there. Oh, now Sarah's got a bark. Oh boy. So I was able to do the little horse and the little tree. I did the tree yesterday and the horse Monday night before I went to bed. So love how it's turning out. So hopefully tonight I will do a little bit more of the border, because I've told myself if I do a motif I have to do more of the border so that I have a chance of finishing this thing. That's a lot of border. Okay, I also put a little bit of stitches in Basket Full of Springtime by Brenda Gervais. And so since last time I finished the house, I worked on the banner, and I think that was it. So I have to do the back stitching that says spring on the top. So I like that one. I need to probably focus on that because it's almost spring. But I don't have any wall to put it on, so I don't know. I already have the autumn one done, and I bought the Christmas and the patriotic one last time when I was at the L&S. So, and I have the same fabric, I believe, that I can do the other two on. So I'm hoping to do an interchangeable Priscilla type of finish on that. Okay, and I worked on La-Di-Da Bless Our Home. So last time I wanted to just make sure that my border lined up. So I had to fudge it a stitch here, a stitch there, but whatever. I feel like I was able to get it to where I can feel safe to keep going. So, oops, I got some thread hooked on there. So I was able to do some more of the flowers. I think I had stopped here, and so I was able to get some more of the flowers done since last time. Okay, and then on my crafting weekend, I was able to put a little bit of work in Summer at Cherry Hill. I just love this one. So I did the little vase and the little I think they're pomegranates. I did those. So I just have one more to finish. And then there's some fill-in the centers. But so that was fun. It went really fast. I feel like it seemed like in no time I had that part done. So, okay, so that's pretty much all. Oh no, sorry. Everything's in a new pile now that I'm on take 2. Okay, so I worked a little bit on When Flowers Blossom by Brenda Gervais. And so since last time I was able to get, sorry, it's so wrinkled up, but I was stitching on this part and had all this wadded up in my hand, so sorry. I was able to get the little verse done up here, and I finished the girl, and I worked on the house. And then while I was down on the stitching weekend, I was able to work on the fence, which is kind of hard to see, but I'm almost done with that. So then all I have to do is that big flower above the fence at the end. And then just a few little piddly things here or there, but that one's coming along pretty nicely. When I was in Michael's, I found this cute little, I don't even know what the heck it's called. It's cute. So this is my floss and stuff for the When Flowers Blossom. So I thought, well, I just need a little bit of bling for my floss. So I worked on that. Then in my process to get my stitchy cabinet worked on, I've been trying in the evenings, every few days or so to try to do a couple of my little floss things, I'm hoping to get all my DMC put on rings. So I just started with some of the pinks and reds, and so I got a little start on that. Okay, so I decided, I know everybody's doing the Baby It's Cold Outside sal in honor of Leanne. And I like that idea, and I still plan on trying to do that. But whenever I would watch their videos, I enjoyed watching both of their stitching and seeing how much they were able to get done and how much they progressed over such a short time. But I have to confess that the most exciting part to me was just seeing the quilts behind them in their videos. There was always a different one, it seemed like, and it was just always beautiful. So when I think of Leanne, I think of quilting, and I think of her love of fabric. Even when she made her project bags and everything, her choice of fabrics was great. So I decided to start a quilt in her memory and do that first, and then hopefully we'll get the Baby It's Cold Outside. So I found a quilt that reminded me of her. It's a Joe Morton quilt, and it's Joe's Little Favorites #2, and this is called Raspberry Swirl. Anyway, I just thought it spoke to me as far as something I think Leanne would like. So I went to Anna Louisa's a couple of weeks ago, and I found some fabric, and so I got started on it, and I made the first block. I think they're like 5 or 6 inches, something like that. Little tiny pieces. And so during one of the slow parts at my scrapbooking weekend, I got the other 7 blocks cut out. So now I'm all ready to go. So I've been working, I can't say working. I have somebody else who is excited to do a quilt in honor of Leanne too. And so I think Christy mentioned it in her last Flosstube video, crosshatch quilts. So it's kind of fun to have a partner in crime. And so we've been messaging back, and I think the pattern that she picked is just so pretty. So I'm excited to see how she gets going on her quilt, and we'll have a little memento to remind us of her. So that's in my plans. And then I don't know if you've seen Michelle Farm Girl's tutorial on the little floss rings. And I always struggle with the right word for the right thing. So I believe the paper part is a floss drop. And I guess it's because some of them were in like a tear shape. Anyway, so I went down the rabbit hole. I was looking at Michael's because I thought, oh, that would be a great opportunity on my scrapbooking weekend, you know, when I'm not scrapbooking, to, you know, do some crafty stuff. And so I went to Michael's and was trying to find things, and I couldn't find everything I needed. So I remember Michelle had talked about getting her stuff off Amazon, so I decided to look there, and I was able to find everything I needed. Sorry, these are like the most uncomfortable chairs. So it was funny. I was just going to get a few things, just to make a few, just for personal use. I don't have any intention to try to sell them or anything. I just can't necessarily afford to spend, and I guess you spend with what you want to spend. And I'm not saying that what people are charging is not a good price. Don't read anything into what I'm saying, but it's just, as far as to go and spend $15, $10, I would much rather buy a chart or whatever. So anyway, I was just going to make a couple. Well, then as I'm shopping on Amazon, this thing flashes across the top and says, hey, fill out an application for a credit card, and if you're approved, you can get, you know, a $70 gift card. Okay, so I ended up getting $70 and I think 67 cents or something for $5. All I had to do was pay the tax, And the shipping was free because I already have Amazon Prime. So I'm just like, hot dog. So now I think I will have enough to make my floss rings through eternity. But it was a lot of fun. So the only hiccup in my whole plan, so I was able to get, you know, like the little, and they're smaller than I had anticipated. I thought they would be as big as some of the ones that people sell, but that's okay. They're in like a couple different shades, and then they have the little, you know, glass things that go on the top. And then I was able to find a bunch of sewing charms. I don't even know how many were in here. A huge amount. Okay. And so then I was, I even was able to get the rings that you put them on. Okay. I decided to get this size because I kind of liked I thought I could put my floss on it at the same time. So, and I got, when I was at Michael's, I got some jump rings and some lobster claws. And so anyway, I just felt like I was all ready to go. And so then I found the ephemera that you needed to actually put, you know, under the glass. Well, I was all raring to go. And then this finally comes, and all the pictures are way too big. And I knew they would be large, and I knew that I could always just cut a portion out or whatever. But I just feel like it's a waste of it. And I wanted to do some bigger things, like some Altoid containers and whatnot. So I feel like I'm going to save some of these for a bigger project, and I'm going to find another one that'll fit these little tiny things. There are some that I can do, but I didn't feel like it was enough to take with me for my weekend. I already had, me and my friend Loretta went, and I mean, we had our car full. And we've decided that next year we're going to try to tone it down a little bit and take a little bit less. And then I even got some cute little pliers for the little jump rings. So, I mean, I am all set. I just need some good ephemera. So, I don't know. I was having a hard time finding that on Amazon. Maybe I just wasn't looking in the right place. So I'm going to try looking again and see. I did find a lot of free things online, but I don't have a printer. So stay tuned. We'll see. I even found a bunch of these little, I don't know what they're called, but they're just like a little, they're like a little ring at the one end, and then there's like a safety pin opening at the other. So I just thought, oh, that would be super cute to like pin them onto like a little pin cushion and have like a couple little buttons on there. So anyway, I have like a zillion of those, and I have them in like 4 different colors. So who knows? I might have some really creative things coming to show you here pretty soon. We'll see. If anybody has any link or whatever to some good ephemera, I'll have to watch Michelle's tutorial again and see what she had for that. But anyway, it was such a great deal. They approved me for that credit card, which fingers crossed I hope to not use. But anyway. Okay, so I think I just have like maybe one more thing to show. 2 more. So I did find another frame. It was originally like a $24 frame, and I got it for $4. And I don't even know what that is. So, but it's a black frame, real plain. I liked it. And I thought I would use it for my, I believe it's called Autumn at Sunflower Ridge, I believe is the name, by the Woolly U. She's on Etsy. And so anyway, I kind of changed a little bit of the colors. But I really think it's going to look pretty in this frame. I think it'll bring out some of the black in the crows. So, very excited about that. I'm hoping to finish that pretty soon. I kind of had some second thoughts at the end. I thought, oh, I wish I had known enough about samplers when I was doing it to like do my initials in a different color or something. So maybe on the next time around when I do something like that, I'll try to personalize it a little bit. So I'm excited about that. And then yesterday when I was at work, my friend Loretta gave me a thrift store find. She had another friend on the hunt for one for me. So Charlene found it at the thrift store. I guess it was $1. And so I'm all excited to make a little scissor holder out of it. So my plan is to just make like the pin cushion part to just come to this ridge, and then at the bottom I think it'll look cute with some buttons in the bottom. But so pretty, so I can just put my little scissors in the opening. So I'm excited to work on that. I don't know whether I want to do a stitched piece in it or if I want to do some pretty wool. So many options. Well, after doing this video twice, I think now I need a nap. I'm all wore out. But I hope something of it was a little bit motivating for you. If you're working on anything cool, I always have my email down in the description box, so feel free to send me some pictures if you want to share with me what you're working on. Let's see. I know I mentioned Christy from Crosshatch Quilts a couple of times. She has some wonderful videos. The first one, oh my goodness, she just shows so many of her finishes. It was just like so motivating. And then even on the last one, when she mentioned me, I was just, it just made me smile. So, and then it was funny when I came home from my scrapbooking weekend, and then, so I got home, you know, hugged the dogs, hugged Larry and everything, and then took a nap. And then when I woke up, I saw that Brenda and Laura had a new video out, and I was just so excited. I'm like, hot dog. So I started up the video, and honest to Pete, when they mentioned me, I thought I was going to pass out. I'm just like, oh my gosh, they mentioned me. I'm such a dork, but it was so nice, and I appreciate them. And I just think they bring so much joy to so many people. Of course, yeah, they enable us, and they're probably, you know, single-handedly keeping a lot of the cross-stitch stores in business with what they are enabling us to buy. But it's so exciting to see how exciting they get about their stuff. Honest to Pete, when Laura was talking, you know, because I find myself saying a lot of their little phrases like stat and on my radar, and I know I'm not the only one because I hear other people doing it too. And then when Laura was talking about something and she's like, yeah, I had a hern about that, and I just, oh my gosh, I was literally laughing, and my husband kept looking at me like, what are you laughing about? But it was so funny. So now it's like, you know, you're not having a hernia about anything, you're just having a hern, you know. I love them so much. So, but anyway, that was such a joy to be able to watch their video. So if you haven't checked them out, I'm sure you have, because I swear everybody is subscribed to them. But if you haven't watched their newest one, it's a lot of fun. Their latest segment is, why haven't I stitched that yet? So, all right. Well, I think my plan for today, since I did all my cleaning on Monday, my plan for today is just to go get my grocery shopping done. But before I do that, I think I'm going to hit Joann Fabrics and try to get some thread together. I want to start something on leap year day, like, because I think this year we have February 29th. So I feel like a start will be necessary because I haven't started anything in all of February. So I still have a few more days to try to finish some things. So I'm going to try to stay focused on that. But then on the 29th, something is going to be started. So I want to go get my stuff ready for that because it's going to come before I know it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I hope you're able to do some things that bring you joy. And I just hope that you'll try to motivate yourself to do some of these things, because honest, it just brings so much joy to your heart, and you know that. So, but I know sometimes I just sit there and scroll through my phone or whatnot, and on times that I could be stitching or doing something. And so I've been trying to limit myself to how much I spend on my phone scrolling through Instagram. And anyway, I think I've blabbed on enough. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and thank you for joining me. I think I have had a few more subscribers, so I thank you for hitting the bell and clicking the subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.